I'm just reading in Leviticus chapter 17, and this whole chapter is about eating blood forbidden. And if you notice one thing in the Old Testament, that is God is using blood for an atonement, with animals, not human blood, but animal blood, for the forgiveness of sins. And then obviously Jesus sacrificed his life for us through the shedding of his blood. And there seems to be a consistent theme that God is saying over and over again, do not do what the other nations around you are doing. Don't sacrifice your children. Don't do all this kind of stuff. And then this chapter you come across, it's almost halfway through Leviticus, on eating for blood which is forbidden. And he says here in verse 11, for the life of the flesh is in the blood. I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls. It is blood that makes an atonement for the soul. Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, no soul of you shall eat blood, neither shall any stranger that sojourneth among you eat blood. And I start thinking, what if, like going back to Genesis, if you go back to Cain and Abel, you see here in chapter 4 in Genesis, in the process of time, verse 3, this is chapter 4, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord, and Abel brought firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, which is interesting. The Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering, but unto Cain and his offering he had not respect. Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted. If thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire. And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. And Cain, it's almost like Cain just ignored it or whatever, I don't know. And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass that when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel? As in, where is his body? Thy brother. And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? So God is saying to Cain, where is Abel, your brother? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now thou art cursed from the earth, which hast opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. So it's interesting here that God is saying, where is Abel thy brother? To me, that means where's his body? Where is he? He's disappeared. Like, clearly, if Cain just buried Abel in the body, in the ground, I should say, God would say, why did you do this thing? Why did you kill your brother and try to hide him by burying him into the ground? But instead, he says, the voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed. So remember this. Where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. So this is going against probably 99%, did Cain eat his brother? Was there no evidence left except his blood? And maybe, just maybe, Abel tried to cover up the blood by putting dust over it. So if you go over here to Exodus, Moses kind of does the same thing. He kills someone, but look what he does. And remember, Genesis is written by Moses, and so is Exodus. So if Moses is writing the story, he knows what he's doing. So you go over here to Exodus chapter 2, verse 12. And he looked this way and that way. So you got to know the story here. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren. Notice the tie there, brethren. And he looked this way and that way, and when he saw that there was no man, he slew him. He slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, behold, the two men, the Hebrews, strove together, and he said unto him, What did the wrong? That did the wrong. Wherefore smitest thy fellow? And he said, Who made thee a prince and a judge over me? Intendest thou to kill me, as thou killedst the Egyptian? And Moses feared and said, Surely this thing is known. Now when Pharaoh heard this thing, he sought to slay Moses. But Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. He sat down by the well. Why? Because they found the body. They found the body. Anyways, maybe this is where we get the term cannibalism. Cain, Abel, ism. Cannibalism. Interesting. You won't see this anywhere online. Like I searched everywhere and stuff. But if you take Cain, take the word Abel and you add ism. Cain, Abel, cannibalism. And don't forget, Canaan was also cursed by God. So that's kind of interesting. And they worship Baal. So you can also have Canaan. But it sounds weird than Cain and Abel. Anyways, just my thoughts for today. What do you guys think? Feel free to comment. Let me know your thoughts. Is this wacky, crazy stuff? Just seems kind of weird that Cain was just forbidden and people are going to hunt him down. Maybe that's why. Bye for now.